Hello YouTube, this is Brandon Reed coming at you from the middle of nowhere with a very, very special edition of the O-Gauge collection. Today's video features Lionel's beautiful scale replica of Reading T-1 484 number 2101 when she was decked out in Chessie colors and used on the Chessie Steam Special. Now, this engine kind of makes up my trio of scale locomotives, the other two being my Williams New Jersey Central 464 Hudson, and the other one being my Weaver O-Scale Brass Nickel Plate Road Berkshire 284. Now, a little trivia on 2101 in real life. Now, 2101 is a T-1 class 484. Like many of her sisters, 2101 actually used to be a 280. She was a lot smaller, yes. Now, around the early 1940s, the Reading wanted locomotives with more horsepower, but at the same time, they didn't have enough money to afford the horsepower. So what they did was they took in their old 280 locomotives and supersized them into gigantic hulking 484s. These big, powerful locomotives were called in for work on different freight trains and coal trains like the Anthracite Express. Now, around the early mid-1950s, the Reading began retiring the T1s and the rest of their steam locomotives because the diesels were already taking over. But the Reading Railroad kept a small amount of their 484s. Engines like 2100, 2101, 2102, 2103, and 2124. The Reading Railroad kept these 484s and used them on publicity runs known as the Reading Rambles. Now, 2101, incidentally, was never used on the Reading Rambles. Only the other engines were. Now, also in between there, 2103 was retired from service and was scrapped, which is why she doesn't exist today. These Reading Rambles went on for some time until they finally ended in the 1990s. Now, sometime in the 60s or early 70s, 2101 was retired. However, Ross Rowland, a familiar figure in steam railroading, used the engine for the Chessie Steam Special and the American Freedom Train of '76. Now, 2101's first job was the American Freedom Train. She was decked out in red and black colors. She still retained her original look, though. That was in '74. Now, in '76, the Reading 2101's look had been completely redesigned. The headlight was moved down a little, and the engine received number boards. After the bicentennial of America, 2101 began work on the Chessie Steam Specials, a series of publicity runs made over the Chessie System Railroad. 2101 performed greatly on these excursions, and it wasn't until she was burned in a roundhouse fire that they had to quit using 2101. Now, because 2101 was destroyed in a roundhouse fire, that didn't mean that the Chessie system was going to quit their steam thing necessarily, because a few months later they found 614, Chesapeake and Ohio 614, to pull their new Safety Express, which was basically the old Chessie Steam Special consist. Now, 2101 wasn't scrapped, but she was taken, cosmetically restored, into her American Freedom Train paint, but still kept her number boards. And she still lives on at the B&O Railroad Museum, where she's currently on display. Now, this model features the authentic Chessie Steam Special plaque on front, the headboard, as I like to call it, a operating headlight, a silver free swing bell, opening boiler door, a functioning smoke unit, detailed domes and pipes engraved into the boiler casting, functioning valve gear, a 484 wheel arrangement, the official Chessie System stripes, and the Chessie System logo on the tender. This engine has a magna traction motor because it came from the Lionel MPC era. Now, I originally got this engine as a, just a just cause I wanted it. Now, when I was first getting this engine, as I got it off of eBay for a really good price, I thought it would only be about the size of my Williams J-Class or my brother's Lionel GS2. I was completely mistaken by a long shot. When this engine arrived, it had the hugest box of a steam locomotive I've ever seen. Not to say that there's bigger, because there is, but this box was long. And I'll say, this engine is huge. It is a scale model. It is enough to be considered a scale model. So, without further ado, let's get her started. Here's the whistle. And I can't really do the bell right now because it's a Lionel post-war transformer and it's weird. So let's just get her running. has been a very special video of reading Railroad number 2101 in Chessie colors. If you like the video, please comment and subscribe, and as always, stay tuned.